Hi everyone, my name is Chand and I'm a board certified internal medicine physician who now practices holistic medicine. What I was just talking about was how our autonomic nervous system works. This is one part of our nervous system, but very important. What does autonomic mean? Some of you might have heard of this, but autonomic would kind of mean automatic in some ways, which means just like I don't have to think that I'm breathing, and you as well right now are breathing, which is why you're alive. Your heart is beating at a certain rate. Your digestion is working. Most of your bodily functions are happening on their own because of our autonomic nervous system. And this nervous system is tremendous. It's complicated. It's beautiful. And what it is doing to keep you safe is that it is unconsciously or subconsciously at all times detecting cues in your environment, cues inside your body, around you, cues of safety versus danger. Now, I want you to understand you're not really thinking about this, but your nervous system is working kind of on its own. What we are trying to do is to get to know our nervous system and hopefully make friends with it, get a little more intimate about our nervous system. The first step is to understand this concept of what doctors call neuroception. It's a fancy way of saying you have an internal surveillance system which is inbuilt, and it's working pretty much all the time. And one of its jobs is to kind of scan your environment, right, all the time. And you can sense this even if somebody's behind you. Some noises in your environment, the wind, some smells will just automatically make you feel certain ways because of this concept of detection. So let's do a simple exercise right now and get to know this a little bit better, this aspect of your nervous system and you. All right, I want you to take a piece of paper, hopefully you already have one, and a pen or a pencil. I want you to make a line right in the middle, and I want you to write danger, excuse my handwriting, and safety. Right, so one is going to have danger, the other one is going to be called safety. And let's just take some time, can maybe ground ourselves a little bit. So just 3 breaths of inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Okay? And these are the cues that I'm going to give you. I just want you to notice inside your body, around yourself, and in relationships. This could be right now, or this could be in general in your life, where you live, work, just your life. Just notice what are the cues of danger that your mind, body, soul, or your nervous system might be picking up on a regular basis, right? For example, it could be somebody, it could be a boss that is giving you stress. It could be work, it could be a bunch of things, but just general cues of danger that make you feel unsafe. Okay, so let's pause the video right now, and I want you to go and make a list and take at least a minute or two to, write down this list. Excellent. Now on the other side, first of all, we're going to let this go. Just breathe out this cues of danger that you just got in touch with. Just let it go. Okay. Come back to yourself. Now utilize the other part of the paper and write down cues of safety that you might be detecting, that you tend to notice. It could be the wind when you're on a morning walk. It could be your neighbor's dog or your neighbor. It could be somebody who smiles at you. It could be just things in your life that make you feel safe, that make you feel okay. You're going to pause the video again and write down that list. All right? So take a minute or two, go write down that list. All right, excellent. Now what I want you to do is to just have a look at both these lists, right? Just look at the list, the cues of danger, and then look at the list on the cues of safety. And I just want you to, again, we're not judging. This is not an exam, right? This is not performance. This is just seeing at this point in time what stands out to you. Maybe which list is longer, or what cues have more weight. You know what I mean? Just get a sense. And if you feel like, maybe turn to your neighbor, right? If you have a bunch of neighbors, and just share that list, maybe if you feel okay, right? Maybe a friend. Spend a little bit doing this, all right? You can pause the video and just get a sense of that. They come back in like 30 seconds or a minute. All right, great. At this point, you might have noticed things or not. One list might have been bigger or longer. And when I started on this journey, I remember the danger pile was pretty high. So if that's your case, that's fine. And if it's not, that's also okay. Nothing is not okay right now. Just want you to know that, all right? This is an exercise to get to know this part of yourself. The reason why we're doing this exercise, and I encourage people to do this here and there, is that this is how our nervous system works. This is how our body works. Depending on the balance of the cues of danger and safety, our nervous system will have a certain response. So if our nervous system, for example, detects predominant safety, that is what overweighs the other aspect, then we're going to be calm. We're going to be in what doctors and scientists call as a ventral vagal. It's a fancy way of saying it's the most evolved part of our nervous system, where we are happy, safe, compassionate, open-hearted. We're curious. We're not worried about the future particularly. We're actually curious about it. We're adventurous. We're feeling connected. This is the state in which your nervous system is when you are feeling really good. This could be maybe when you're coming out of a great yoga session, maybe when you're meditating, maybe when you're with some people that you love and you're happy. This is maybe a time when you're doing what you love. You feel fulfilled. You feel whole. Now, I'm painting a perfect picture, and obviously it's not always like that, but you get the drift, right? Now, if the cues of danger overweigh that of safety, then our nervous system has two choices. If the danger is, let's say, yellow, right? It's a yellow level of danger. Then it'll kick us into what we call fight or flight. And the nervous system is going to be like, you know what? Things are not safe. I got to make sure I protect you. I have to protect this body. And so let's ramp up. And it goes into what we call the sympathetic nervous system. The fancy way of saying our heart rate, our blood pressure will go up. Your whole body will change to prepare for this danger, which is either impending or is present right now. First way is going to be to fight. The other way is going to be to run away. This completely alters your physiology. And if that's not enough, and the danger either increases in intensity or the cues of danger are getting stronger and stronger, and that's not working, then we might go into another response, which is called a freeze response. That means the body and the nervous system like, you know what? I can't change. I can't fight this. I can't run away. I'm just going to collapse. I'm going to go into freeze mode. I want to be very honest here. I want to be very clear. These are not wrong. This is not bad. Your nervous system is designed to keep you safe. It loves you. Doesn't always know what's best, but it's doing its best, right? And so these are protective mechanisms. These are defense mechanisms. The problem is not that they exist. The problem happens when we get stuck in one of these or both in a blended state for longer than we need to. That's what chronic stress can cause, right? So, internal detection systems, surveillance systems, detecting danger and safety. Depending on what it detects, it'll move into one mode or the other. We're going to do a simple exercise here. Actually, before we get into that exercise, the point I want to make here is that our whole body, in fact, our whole being can change based on the state of our nervous system. And based on that state, our mind will create a certain story, which is where the saying comes that story follows state. Think about that again. Story follows state. It might not be 100% true, but I do believe a large part of our story that we're telling ourselves or recreating in our minds is coming from the state of our nervous system. So if we want to change the story, we might want to work with the nervous system. Cool. So you're going to follow my audio cues or my verbal clues. Let's just ground a little bit, right? Let's just 3 clearing breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Excellent. We're going to start with the yellow one, which is the fight and flight, right? So there's danger, and we're going to try and fight it or run away from it. But before you go inside that, at that time in your life where you were activated in that sense, I want you to pause, and we're not going to go for the worst one. I'm not going to talk about the worst thing that had happened. No, we're going to use something which is maybe a 4 or a 5 on a scale of 10, right? So I'm not going to bring up the most traumatic memory. So take your time. And this is normally stuff which is happening probably on a regular basis in your life, right? Close your eyes and just see if you can go back to that time maybe, or remember a memory, or even make up a memory where you are activated, but not that activated. Maybe somebody's pissed you off, you had a fight, relationship, so many things, right? Not the worst one, somewhere in the middle to, between 1 and 5 on the scale. And I just want you to connect with that state in your body, right? And we're going to do this with the way of movement and acting, because I believe this is a drama group, right? Or you're doing something like that. So as you go back, or as you remember, I want you to try and bring out that movement. I'm going to give you some clues what that might have felt like in the form of movement. Start with your hands. So for me, it's coming to be like these jerky movements. It's stress. I don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. Somebody's crossed your boundaries. That's probably when this comes. Remember, it's trying to protect you. It's trying to make you safe. And if you're angry, if you're frustrated, remember that time. It's not the worst time, but try and act it out. Let's do this for a little bit. Let's do this for at least a minute, and I'm going to do this with you. Right? What is the movement like? What is it like? It's jerky. It's rigid. So you're pushing someone away, maybe. Let it happen. Don't think about it. Let your body just move. Get up, walk around, jump if you have to. What is the expression of this energy? What is the expression of this state? How is it trying to act? What does it need? Just let this out. Or get to know it in that sense. If you have to sit down and you can't do that, that's fine, but try and feel it. Take your time, right? Take your time, and you can pause right now. Pause the video, and then come back in a few minutes. Okay. You connected with this part. You connected with this defense mechanism, this state of your nervous system, and try and remember what it was, how you were. How was this energy? How was this body? And what was the story? What was the story? Right? Take your time. You don't have to do this right now. I'm just trying to connect with that. We're just trying to get intimate with that part again. We're going to clear this now. 3 clearing breaths. Remember, inhale and exhale, clear. Inhale and clear. We're going to release this energy. Last one, inhale and release. Clear it out. Excellent. Shake it off, right? We're now going to connect with the red part. Be very careful here. I'm going to go to a memory or something which was so dangerous maybe that you had to shut down. Again, doesn't need to be, don't go to the worst one. These don't need to be very big events. Remember, it can be where you got an email and the email was, you just couldn't do anything about it, right? And you decided to curl up on the sofa and just, you were not able to dissociate it. A friend broke your heart. Could be anything, but nothing too bad. We're not talking about the worst traumatic memory. And be careful with this one, because the red one or the free state can be especially painful for people. So be kind with yourself. Go to a level 2 or 3. Okay. Take your time, close your eyes, and use movement again to contort your body. Or what is this movement like? And maybe it's not even movement. Maybe it's just heaviness. But feel that helplessness, that hopelessness, that despair, that heaviness, that disconnection, the numbness that comes with this state. When your system is overwhelmed beyond capacity, try and move your body in a way that just feels that you're in that state. This is what's coming to me, so I'm just going to do this. And my hand movements are like this, maybe. There's no right or wrong answer. Just do whatever comes to you. And I'm just slowing down and just stay there for a little bit only, okay? But those are the cues. Try and get a little intimate with this state. You can pause the video at this point and come back to it maybe in a couple of minutes. If you need to lie down, you lie down if you have space. If you need to sit down on the ground, close your eyes, whatever feels authentic for you, I guess, for this state. And as you come out of this, I'm going to just bring some breath again and some clearing breath to clear this heaviness. So inhale with me, clear this, inhale again, and clear this, and inhale again, and clear this. We're going to end with the green zone, our happy place. Okay. Right now, just want you to close your eyes, or you can just follow my clues and get back to that time when you have felt in the flow state, when you felt happy and safe and calm and connected and passionate and compassionate. Maybe it was that dance with a lover. Maybe that is when you were watching the skies at night. Maybe it is when you're doing what you're meant to do, what you're supposed to do. Maybe it is that meditation session. Maybe it is that connection with someone who made you feel like you are worth it. It could be anything. Go back to that time. Go back to that time, close your eyes, and move your hands in a way which embody and express that energy. And for me, it's rhythmic. Generally, it will be rhythmic for a lot of people, and flowy, it can be something else for you. And for me, it's this kind of dancey movement. Sometimes it's kind of tight kind of movements, rhythmic and slow, But you do you. At this point, it could be you twirling, it could be you skipping, it could be you laughing, it could be you doing whatever you feel is good for you. What is that green zone? What does this state feel like for you? And we're going to spend some more time here. We're going to fill our cup. This is where we want to be most of the time, right? So again, I'm just doing these movements, just coming what's coming to me. You decide to do whatever it is for you. Pause the video, come back to me. Okay. Excellent. Wow. Thank you for doing that with me. Thank you for taking this journey and connecting with these different states. I just want you to take some time and maybe write down something after this, right? Just write down and just reflect on what was it, how did it feel to be in that state? What were you like? What was the world like around you? So that you remember where you need to be, where you should be at a certain time. There are times when you do need to be activated, when you do need to be in fight and flight, and there are times when you will need to dissociate. But not all the time. So anyways, thank you for helping me lead you or guide you into this short exercise, short video through which you can connect and get to know your nervous system. And notice how your story was different in all the three states, right? What is it that you want your story to be? Getting to know our nervous systems, befriending our nervous systems, making friends with ourselves can help you maybe get some more power and agency on both your state and your story. I want to leave you with one of the last things is that the whole purpose of all of this is so that we can connect deeper and better with each other. It's about building community. This is where all of this starts, which is why it's valuable that you're doing this with community. It's called co-regulation. Hopefully you all are feeling a little bit better. If you're feeling activated, I understand that. Try and spend some more time in calming down. Try and spend some more time in harmonizing this nervous system and getting in touch with that happy place. Thank you again for having me, and I will see you all later in person, hopefully. Take care.